Central with Bert Barron on the new Talk Radio 1450 WCTC. Call Jersey Central at 732-545-9282. Toll free at 888-545-9282. Watch Jersey Central live online at WCTCAM.com or listen on your smartphone with the iHeartRadio or TuneIn apps. Connect with WCTC on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube by searching 1450 WCTC. And now, back to Jersey's Morning Show. Jersey Central with Bert Barron.
7:37 on Jersey Central on the new Talk Radio WCTC, the voice of Central Jersey, coming to you from the Forge Jeweler Studios this morning. Contest is on the way. Your chance to win Blu-ray DVD copy, I Saw the Lights, a great biopic about country western legend Hank Williams. Your chance to win that is on the way. Let's go to the Raritan Bay Medical Center Jersey Newsmaker Hotline. My special guest is a political science professor, St. Peter's University in Jersey City, to talk about the decision by the FBI taking a pass on charging former Secretary of State and presidential candidate Hillary Clinton on this email disaster that it could have been. Let's welcome in Alain Sanders, who is our guest this morning on Jersey Central. Alain, it's Bert Barron. How you doing today? Good to talk to you.
Very good, Bert. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. I don't know if Vegas had put up any odds on this as far as whether the FBI would move on this or not, but we got the word yesterday. What was your initial reaction when you heard from FBI Director Comey that they weren't going to pursue anything?
Well, my initial reaction was that that was the betting that many legal scholars had anticipated. But, of course, the fact that she didn't get charged criminally is the least of it in a sense. She got quite a public flogging from FBI Director Comey. He called her extremely careless, which is not something a candidate wants to be called, particularly a candidate who has some trust issues that have been dogging her since the beginning of her campaign. So she got excoriated, but she didn't get criminally charged, and she probably didn't get criminally charged because the statutes are, number one, very vague and very murky, but they also require that to be charged, you have to intentionally mishandle classified information or at least handle it in a grossly negligent way. And the evidence probably didn't stack up. I'm sure it didn't stack up. Many professors have said so, but Director Comey is a director of great integrity. He's a Republican. He's had a distinguished career, and so that was his judgment.
Do you view as perhaps maybe it's something that wasn't announced yesterday? Is he under some sort of, I don't know, I hate to use this term, but I will, double secret probation? I mean, are they going to keep a closer eye on her now and just make sure that everything's on the up and up as we go forward?
Well, certainly the voters will. I don't know that the FBI director will be watching her very closely. It's a done deal. Whatever she did as Secretary of State is closed, and so his charge was to investigate what she did as Secretary of State. He doesn't have a charge to explore her current activities. Nobody has charged her with anything pertaining to her current activities, so it's a closed deal. But, of course, his judgment will be under great scrutiny. The Republicans have let it be known that they want to hold hearings on his decision, and so this is certainly something that will be in the news for the days and weeks to come.
Best possible outcome, you think? I would think that she would have preferred to hear Director Comey say, well, we looked, nothing was handled carelessly, everything was on the up and up, so my work is done here. I mean, that would have really been the best outcome for her, don't you think?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, it's a good outcome in the sense that she doesn't have to answer to criminal charges. It's not a good outcome in the sense that now she has to answer about her judgment. And, of course, that is exactly what this campaign is going to be about going forward. Her judgment versus Donald Trump's judgment. It's going to be a very messy campaign and one that has to do with personal integrity, trust, and judgment, which, of course, always makes for a messy campaign.
How is this used? How do the Republicans use this as sort of something in their toolkit going forward? You know, Donald Trump, Paul Ryan, even Chris Christie now, whose name has come up. Is there anything that they can use? Does this give them any leverage on any capacity?
Oh, absolutely. It gives them a lot of leverage. All they really need to do, in a sense, is to have television commercials that simply have Mr. Comey saying what he said yesterday with, a tagline that you can't trust Hillary Clinton. So that will certainly be part of the campaign that the Republicans will wage. What's interesting is that, of course, Hillary Clinton is trying to change the subject today. She's going to be in Atlantic City to talk about Donald Trump's business failures and the lack of trust that workers and contractors have with regard to his business practices. So as I say, it's going to be a very messy campaign. The Republicans will go after the integrity of Hillary Clinton, and you can bet that Hillary Clinton is going to go after the integrity of Donald Trump.
Our guest this morning on the Raritan Bay Medical Center Jersey Newsmaker Hotline is Alain Sanders, Professor Alain Sanders, political science instructor at St. Peter's University in Jersey City. And we're talking about the Hillary Clinton emails and the decision that was publicly announced yesterday by FBI Director Comey. Does she just kind of like been there, done that? Is that her approach, kind of like the old, wipe your hands and move on? Is that what she'd like to see this happen, and will that be her approach going forward?
Well, I think that's what she eventually wants to do, but certainly the excoriation that she got from the director yesterday calls for a response from her, and so we'll have to wait and see how she decides to handle that. I mean, her integrity, her trust, her judgment was attacked, and of course a big part of her campaign is to say that she's experienced, she's been there, she knows what to do, but clearly what she did in her role as Secretary of State in this regard leaves much to be desired. So she's going to have to answer it in some way, and that will be a critical part of the campaign. Once she answers it, once she makes the statements and the explanation that she believes need to be made about it, then she will move on. But the first thing she has to do is to really answer the political charges that have been leveled against her. Will
there be a demand, Alan, you think, for the transcripts to be made public of this meeting? And is there a videotape somewhere that maybe we'll get to see, one of these, one camera shot of her, just, a voice from off camera asking a question and then her answering the question on camera? Does that exist as far as you know?
Well, I mean, the emails are a matter of public record in many ways. There's some, not all the emails have been revealed, but many of them have been revealed. In terms of the FBI investigation and revealing the details of that investigation, the FBI doesn't operate that way. It would be unprecedented to get the raw information that the FBI has been sifting through and examining. I think what you can expect is Hillary Clinton to remark either in a press conference or in the course of a speech about her response to the charges. She's going to have to answer. There are many inconsistencies that exist as a result of what she said in the past and what the director says he has found. So expect her to make a statement either at a press conference or in a major speech, but then she would like to move on.
Well, to mislead or to not be completely truthful with the FBI is in itself a punishable crime. What if 10 or 15 years go by, Alan, and there's something that comes up in there that turns out to be maybe not 100% true? Is this something that they could reopen and continue to pursue?
Depends on the statute of limitations. 10 or 15 years is a long time, and most statutes of limitations don't run that long. But, of course, anything that is uncovered subsequently is always fair game. But you also have to think about, whether it's worth it. Lots of crimes are uncovered later. Depends on the severity of the crime, depends on the circumstances, and depends on the context of when it happened. So that's real speculation, and it's not at all clear that anything beyond what we now know would ever happen.
Safe to assume James Comey will not be named her presidential candidate running mate at this point, right? Probably won't happen.
No, but what's interesting is he's got a 10-year term, and that means he's got something like 7 to 8 years to go under his appointment, which means that whether it's Mr. Trump or whether it's Mrs. Clinton that is the president of the United States, he will have to deal with one or the other.
Interesting. I never thought of it that way. She could be elected and become his boss, like overnight almost.
Absolutely.
Very interesting. Professor Sanders, appreciate your input on the show this morning, and thank you again, and hopefully we could talk again in the near future, all right?
All right. My pleasure, Bert. You have a great day.
You do as well. Thank you. All right, Professor Alain Sanders, my